This program is designed to provide general information with regards to the subject matters covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the hosts, guests, sponsors, or station are engaged in rendering any specific and personal, medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional service, or any advice. You should seek the services of competent professionals before applying or trying any suggested ideas.
Magazine publisher and entrepreneur Judith Mancini is sharing captivating conversations with experts in their field about the latest trends in our ever-changing world to help you become healthy, wealthy, and wise. Judith Mancini today will spark your interest and inspire you to lead your best life ever. And now, here's Judith.
Hello, everybody. I'm Judith Mancini, and I am thanking you for joining me. It's been a pretty strange couple of months, and I've missed seeing you several times. And Juan does an excellent job of doing some thoughtful reruns of previous editions of the podcast. So I thank Juan for that, and I hope you enjoyed the reruns. And today is filled with a mishmash of things. There is so much going on in the world. You've seen the title. It's just absolutely crazy. So the first thing I want to talk about are drones. Drones are being used by law enforcement, military, individuals who are just having a good time with them, youngsters. I remember when my grandson, who turned 21 yesterday, I remember when he got his first drone and he was up running it around our house. And I think my son was enjoying it far more than he was. Craziness. Now I understand they're going to be using drones at Amazon to deliver packages and all. But how does that work? Because here I am. I was totally out of vitamins. You know, we're having a bit of a challenge with my husband and me. I'm going to lose him very shortly. And of course, I'm devastated. And no, I don't take pills to try to remain calm. I pray to God to support me and hold me up. So here I am doing my best. And I thank you, God, for holding me up. And I thank Juan for putting up with all of my changes in schedule and everything else. So thank you. And always thanking Dean Piper, the owner, proprietor of this great station, Doc4 TV. Okay, so there's my thank yous. But here's what's going on. How does it, I started to tell you, I ordered, we were out of all of our vitamins, and I don't take multiple vitamins. I take with one pill, with them all squished into a capsule. I don't take those. I take individual vitamins, and so does my husband. And a lot of people I know that I've convinced them to change. So I had to order the B6, the B12, the CoQ10, and all of this kind of stuff. So, of course, I went to Amazon, ordered them, and they broke it into 2 deliveries. And this is why I'm telling you, this is really, really getting to me. It's very strange. So, first of all, they split my order. I ordered, I think, 12 vitamins, and they split them into 2 orders. One that would get here last night between 5 and 10, something like that. And they got here, but it was a driver who wasn't even in an Amazon car. So that's fine. I go out, I pick them up. They're on the shelf. I haven't taken them yet this morning. And then the second half of the order, which was another 6 vitamins for my order, they had split it off from the first order and made another order, which is coming Friday. It's coming from the same place. It's very weird. And who knows, it might be another unmarked car. Now, the other odd thing is we live fairly close. It's close to our bank and close to the post office, so I drive past it quite a bit. It's an Amazon fleet parking lot, and they're buying a whole bunch of new vans from another company, Green something, and they're renovating them, fixing them up for Amazon, and they'll repaint them and all. But there must be, I'm not kidding you, there must be between 500 and 1,000 in this lot that goes on forever, where some kind of business went out and they've used their parking lot. So why do they have to have somebody come in their own unmarked car? Now, they have ID and they have all of that, and I'm not saying this, that I was frightened or anything like that. I'm just wondering, what is going on with the delivery? And are they getting ready here in the Coachella Valley by Palm Springs? Are they going to start delivering by drone? Well, we bought a condominium on the ground floor, which is lovely. And we have a breezeway because our building has 8 people in it, 8 condos in it. And there's a breezeway between the downstairs condos, because that's where you got to start to climb the stairs to go up. And so this breezeway goes out into the beautiful landscape part where the pools are and all, and the other one goes out to the parking lot eventually. Well, why I'm telling you this is, how are they going to get that drone in here? I mean, they must have some AI or some really good drone flyers hanging out where they're going to be watching this thing and going down and going through the breezeway. Then were they going to drop it? Is it going to come in front of the door? What's going to happen? I don't get it. Now, if you're a private citizen in a big house or a normal house, I can see them getting to the front porch with the drone. I don't get it, okay? Now, the military uses drones, and that has been literally a lifesaver. So there is a place for drones, not just for the kids to play. And I'm not even sure kids can buy the drones anymore to play with them. So that's my first thing I wanted to discuss today, the drones. And now the next thing is the data centers. The data centers, you know, the data centers for the power and all to house the new AI things. But that's not all they house. They work with your email, which I don't have right now. They work with all sorts of things on the internet and things. We have data centers already, people, but we need more because we need electricity, we need power. They give us a lot of good things. They have even increased, they use a lot of water in their processes at the data centers, but they're also creating new sources of water for all of us. Yes, I would probably oppose a data center right next to my house. It doesn't give off any wacko things like cell towers do. So I think it's a necessity, and I think people need to look at it as a necessity. We are living in a different world than we grew up in, and our parents and grandparents grew up in. They were thinking about changing the wooden wheels on covered wagons as they were coming from the east and going maybe through the Panama Canal down that way, or they're coming just from the East Coast and they're going straight across the country. It's different. It's different. Look at what the electric cars have done now. You can get one to pick you up on the sidewalk in front of Bergdorf Goodman's in New York, and it's going to take you all over New York City, wherever you want. Just tell them, hey, I want to go to the Bronx, and they'll take you, and you'll never see a whole person. You just get in the car, and there you go. Well, you know, I never hide my age. I'm 79. And I have to tell you, sometimes it's hard to keep up with everything. Well, one of the things is with Mac, they're always upgrading our laptops, our computers, our desktops, whatever, if we have any kind of piece of equipment, I call it, from Apple. And every time they update my software, something is so changed that I can't figure it out. And sometimes things just disappear. Well, I wrote the wrong title for my podcast today. And I couldn't check my email because it was gone. It just disappeared. Sending and receiving. So fortunately, for some reason, God looking after me probably, I picked up my phone and I was able to get my emails. And I saw that Juan had emailed me, and I'm so just discombobulated right now with my poor husband and a lot of other things going on that I had missed his email to me on my laptop telling me I once again goofed up the title because the description was over 100 words, and we count, just like I did in publishing, commas, symbols, spaces, all sorts of stuff. And those add up. And on the description, we can only have, or the title, 100 characters. Fortunately, I saw it, and I hope you got the rewritten one. Did you, Juan? Are you there, Juan? He must have stepped out of the studio for a minute. Did you get the new title? Oh, yes, I see that now. Put my glasses on. Thank goodness. Now, if I could just get my email back, I'd be more than happy. So, a little bit about socialism and what's happening in our elections. Can you imagine what's going on in New York City with Mayor Mamdani trying to do a public grocery store where he will control the prices and who can go in and out and everything else? That man is crazy. Now, the grocers and the bodega owners, the owners of the grocers and the bodegas and some of the big chains, they're all complaining to him. The food probably won't be the same. It won't be the choice produce and all. Where is he going to get it? How is he going to transport it? Maybe it's going to be all packaged food. Ugh. Trader Joe's has good packaged food, but there's not going to be like Trader Joe's. I'm not even aware of where he is that there is a Trader Joe's. I know there is a Trader Joe's in New York, but I don't know where. I can't remember where it's located. But that's neither here nor there because he's putting in a government-run grocery store. Well, so far he's looked at 3 different sites, and they're all almost impossible to be built on or to be affordable. Well, who's getting the money? Is he buying somebody out? What is he doing? It sounds to me like he's looking for bare land or something to knock down where he can put his government-owned grocery store. Well, so he's been mayor for quite a while, and he still hasn't even found where he can do it or the government money to do it. Crazy. I don't know. And I don't know what he has. I get a little wrapped up with my husband. I don't know if he's even done anything for free buses or anything for the subways. What the heck has he done except spout off about socialism being so great? Well, I hope you people in New York and around in other areas where people are running for Congress, for the Senate or the House or governor or anything else that's on the ticket these days, if somebody is spouting out about socialism and how great it is, why don't you ask somebody who has come to the United States to escape socialism, and what happened to their property, and even what happened to some of their relatives as they were trying to get into boats and they were shot and killed by Castro and his so-called army. I don't understand, you guys. Look at the countries that have instituted and integrated socialism. Venezuela, Cuba, all those Caribbean places down there had socialism. We had to go in and save Venezuela. We have to go save Cuba too. And then there are places like Haiti. Socialism worked really well there, didn't it? A hurricane came through. People lost their houses. Who went in to help them? The United States. Oh, and Bill and Hillary Clinton said they'd give everybody in Haiti a cell phone so they could all be connected together. Never happened. Never happened. And that was a deal that they were going to make money off of with one of their friends. Don't get me started on the Clintons because I don't want to talk about them today. Yeah, I'm down on the Democrats right now. I am. And I've told you before, I'm a Republican and I'm a conservative. And as a podcast host, I'm probably not supposed to give my opinions on things, but I guess I'm turning Judith Mancini today into more of a half political and half business and half fashion or whatever, helping women become healthy, wealthy, and wise. Well, you're not going to stay healthy if you have socialism because we can't get to our doctors now. Well, let me tell you what happened. You know, I've told you about this doctor that I went to, and I had swollen lymph glands because I had a little cold, a little sneezing thing when we first moved to the desert. Mind you, we have Medicare, healthcare, whatever you want to call it, where you get to choose your plan, like Humana, United, whatever. Okay, so I go to this doctor that they assign me and my husband as our primary, and we can't go anywhere else without his sending us. He has to okay it to the person we're going to, and it's a very narrow field there. Okay, so I had a problem with that, and it took me months and months and months. It actually took me over a year to get my thyroid down. It's still here. My thyroid was in the normal place until I went to this imaging place down here. And I think I told you the person who was going to do it was injecting me with the nuclear radioactive, whatever they put in your arm so they can take the pictures. And I think he gave me too much, and he didn't know how to find the vein to put it in. It was really screwed up. And what ended up was my thyroid that slipped way down here. It's now going up, but it's not swollen like it used to be. And I'm watching it. Okay, so that was his first screw up. Now my husband goes, and his cardiologist wanted a picture of his carotid artery. And the primary physician wanted one too. So he sends him to his new imaging clinic. My husband was perfectly healthy when he walked in. Yes, he's a heavy smoker, but he wasn't having any problems. And he'd just been through the cardiologist, who is a super guy, and he's like #1 cardiologist in the valley here. Very highly recommended. So we go and we walk into this new imaging center that's been totally redone. There's one guy working. He takes Lou in there and he does a CT scan on him. And Lou comes out and he was okay. But by the nighttime, he was starting to have a problem breathing. So taking care of us towards morning. And I said, let's go to the doctor. Let's go to the emergency room, whatever. It didn't seem to warrant the emergency room. It seemed to warrant us going to the doctor to get some medication and see if he just had like influenza or something like that. Well, he ended up giving him 2 inhalers. Well, I couldn't get them around here, so I ended up putting Lou back in bed. And now this is getting serious. He can't breathe very well. And I put him to bed, and the one inhaler I had, I used it with him. And then I had to go get the other one, the main one. And it was not at a weird pharmacy. It was at a Walmart pharmacy because the CVS didn't carry this particular one. So I had to drive all over the Coachella Valley because the first CVS I went to didn't have it. That's the one that's less than a half a mile away from us. They didn't have it. They didn't carry it. Okay, this is a prescription, but you don't have it. Okay. So then I went to another CVS in Palm Desert, which was huge, big CVS. The other one's pretty small. So I go to this big one, and they didn't have it either, the one that he recommended in his prescription. But 2 lovely people said, listen, he needs an inhaler, and this is not going to hurt him, and this is going to be good. And they walked me around. Now, I don't have Lou with me. I had dropped him off at home. So it's getting late, and they found a good inhaler for me. I get out to the Walmart past the time. They did have it, but I had to go back the next day because I didn't have any cash with me. And I've been hacked on my credit cards, so I don't even carry credit cards with me anymore except one, and I didn't know it had been hacked. That's how I found out. Now, the copay on this one is $47, and there was a prescription for 3 of them. Like, I was supposed to buy them and take them home, and I had no money with me, so 47 times 3. Okay? It's a mess. And I need to peek at my husband because I kind of hear him doing. No, he was just turning over. I am so sorry. This is called podcasting from wherever you are. Okay. So I had to go home. Then I had to go back the next day to get it so I could pay for it. I mean, I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off. I never go out without money or a credit card that works. I was getting hacked so many times. I only want 2 credit cards, one to back up the other one in case I decide to go to some gorgeous Cinderella ball or something and I need my credit card. No. So I get out there and I pay for it. I get in the car and it's 120 degrees and I've been driving around for nearly 2 hours getting these inhalers. The first prescription came with an antibiotic, and that seemed to help Lou. I'm asking the doctor all this time, what's wrong with him? What's wrong with my husband? He says, oh, it looks like he has pneumonitis. It might go into pneumonia. We need to knock it down. I'm going to give him an antibiotic and I'm going to give him some steroids and this expensive inhaler, which of course, money is no object when you're trying to save the man you love. So we get home and it does. He did not get pneumonia, but I don't know how the doctor knows that because he didn't look at his lungs again. He listened to his breathing the second time we went to the doctor. Actually, it was the first time we went to the doctor because the doctor wasn't in the first time we tried to go. We couldn't get the staff to give us an appointment. So we went another time when we got there, and I got my daughter on the phone because my daughter is registered nurse with lots of initials behind her name, so she knows what she's talking about. And I just wanted her to listen to this guy. So we go home and we got it. Now here we are, and we've gone through the antibiotics, we've gone through the steroids, we've gone through all that, and we got another inhaler, and then we got a nebulizer. He refuses to use the nebulizer because it's going to be on his face for several minutes, and he doesn't like that. It's too confining. So here we are, and the COPD, which I never thought too much about. I think more about lung cancer or something like that. Or COPD is a very serious, horrible problem, and I'll come right out and say everything I've read says it's fatal, especially when you've been a heavy smoker, because that exasperates it. And he was, and he's giving it up. But it's too late. So here I am trying to take care of him, and I'm jumping up, as you can see, but I'm trying to go on and have a life too, because I need to. I have other people depending on me. I have wonderful grandchildren, and you may have seen their pictures on Facebook, and my 21-year-old grandson turned 21 yesterday, and I'm so proud of him. And I love my grandkids. Now I have 3 grandsons and 1 granddaughter. So I'm happy, and my daughter is coming to visit us. And with her expertise, she'll be able to tell me what's going on and all. But that brings me to the question of death. Now, when we moved to the desert, it was shortly after my son took his own life, and I couldn't get through it. My grief was too strong, and it just kind of chokes me up to talk about it. But I'm pretty good at taking care of things and solving problems, and I've had to be all through my life. My daughter and my son were my life. We were so close, as many of you are with your kids. And many of you who listen to me have also lost a son or a daughter unexpectedly. So as we're living in beautiful Oak Park, in this apartment, because we weren't sure where we wanted to live when we moved from a house that we sold. So we got an apartment there, and it was beautiful. We looked into the park, and it was gorgeous. And one day, I didn't know what my son was going to do. I didn't know he was having severe mental problems, I guess you call it, or what was going on. And he was so well liked, and he had so many friends, and he was successful at his profession, working with his own company within the entertainment industry. It was a shock. Now that I look back on things, some things are just not right in people's lives. And I thought everything was right in his life. Yeah, he didn't have the greatest marriage, but I had 2 other marriages that weren't great. So it was just, I don't know. I still don't know. But now that I look back on it, there were warning signs that I never took about it. He told me things like when we were living in Oak Park, excuse me, Mom, this will be the last Christmas tree I buy you. I just thought he was so busy with his own family, he didn't want to buy me one, which would have been perfectly fine. It was always just the extra little gift he gave me. And then there were other signs much closer to it. I won't tell you every single thing that happened to him, but I'm telling you this because I want you to be aware of what happens. He lived fairly close in Calabasas to us. We were in Oak Park, and it was like 20 minutes or less to get in between our houses, depending on the traffic. As it is anywhere, depending on the traffic. And I had asked him to come over to help pull out the refrigerator because I wanted to clean behind it. And I had accidentally knocked a couple of things off that I wanted, and Luke can't do it. And I certainly can't do it. I can't pull it out. I can push it back in, but I can't pull it out. And so he came over to do that with his son, Connor, the one who just turned 21. And he did that for me. And then he looked at me and he said, he didn't say anything. He just looked at me. And I said, Matt, you need to get some rest. You're working so hard. You look like you've lost a little weight and you look really, really tired. It's Sunday. Take the rest of the day off. Go do something for yourself. Go play golf with Connor or do something. He looked at me and he said, yeah, I'm tired. And he gave me the longest hug and kiss. And it was shortly after that, maybe a week or two, I got the call from my daughter who told me my son had taken his life. So why I'm telling you this is death is a pilot, S-H-I-T, no matter what. So I had to get out of that apartment, and I wanted to get away from my daughter-in-law. And unfortunately, that meant getting away from my grandkids, but I tried to stay in touch with them. But I just couldn't live there any longer, and I wanted to move. So we looked in Santa Barbara, and that was too expensive. My daughter lives up there, and then we looked all over West LA. We had come from Beverly Hills, so we knew the area, but it was too expensive. And at our age, who needs something that's that expensive to be living in? And I mean, if you own your home, that's fine. But remember, my husband took me all over the country, 23 different moves. So we had bought and sold. So I said, okay, let's go to Palm Springs. So we came down here and we looked around and we found this condo. It's like a little casita, and that's what I'm trying to turn it into. But as soon as I moved down here, I knew I had like 12 girlfriends down here, with or without their husbands. Some of them were single, widowed, what have you. Most of them were married. And I thought, okay, well, I know these women. I've known them for years, and they're down here. Most of them didn't live year-round at that time, but now they do. And they don't live year-round here because it gets so blasted hot. So I said, okay, we would move down here. Well, we got down here and everything fell apart. As soon as we moved in here, things started falling apart. They were dishonest about what was going on in the house. We just had the leak I told you about, all these different things. But I was still thinking about my son. It has taken me nearly 5 years, not to get over it, but to deal with it. And that's what I want you to know, is when you're grieving, you can't always end it just by saying, okay, I'm not going to grieve anymore. When we moved in, I thought I wouldn't be thinking of death. But what happened was one of my other girlfriends called me and told me one of my dearest friends who lived down here, first her husband died. Now, these are not young people. He was in his probably late 80s. Oh, no, I think he did have his 90th birthday, excuse me, like a couple months before he passed away. So that was rather expected. Wonderful man. And my friend Sarah, she called me twice. I couldn't talk to her. I was so devastated over my own grief and my son. I could not speak to her, and she knew my son. And she just left a message saying, I knew your kids and this and that, and I'm so sorry. I would have liked to have talked to you. I'm sorry I missed you. And the next thing I know, my other girlfriend calls and says, she died. Nobody knew she was sick. Nobody knew what happened. Her husband had just died. I feel so guilty because I didn't talk to her. So people, talk to your friends when they call you. If you can't get to them immediately, call them back. And don't just text them. Call them and speak to them. I have a pretty long list of people I need to talk to. There are a couple who are going through similar things that I'm going through right now. And I make sure to call them. First thing, priority. My other girlfriends are still being very active and have active husbands or whatever they're doing. And I do talk to them, but not very often now. But it took me close to 5 years to be talking to them. And some of them thought I was just being snooty by by running into other people and hearing about them and moving to a different place. Grief is horrible. I will never get over my son, and I probably will never get over my husband. My daughter has gone through hell. Her first husband, her father, lived up in the wine country, and he became ill. And towards the end, for over a month, she was driving every weekend, 4 hours up and 4 hours back to take care of him as he was suffering. That's my daughter. She takes care of her friends when they lose people. She takes care of everyone. She's a very kind woman. So that's my story about grief today. I don't want you to waste the time you have left on earth that God has granted you. I want you to try to get out of it before me. I prayed and I prayed and I prayed. And I was listening, but I was just, I couldn't move. I was like paralyzed. And it didn't do my health any good. And it didn't do my husband any good. And moving someplace to run away from it certainly didn't do any good. And I'm thinking of leaving the area. Not right now, because I have a little work to get this place in order, because it certainly wasn't when we bought it. So you can't run away from things. You have to face them head on. And for all my life, starting about 5 years old, when my mother contracted polio and my father dropped my brother and me off at my grandma's house, Grandma Louise, whom I'm named after, Judith Louise, and my daughter is Megan Louise, and her youngest 8-year-old son is Nicolas Luis de Carlo, named after me. So we carry on the tradition of Louis, and Louise. Louis, and Louise. Those two are kind of similar, Louis and Louise. So that's my story about grief, and I hope none of you have to go through the terrible time I went through. But you lose your loved ones, and it's a very rough road, So I want you to be kind to those that you're losing. You know, this is a particularly hard time in life, but you can make it what you want to make it. When you touch your 70s and on, some of us are blessed with extremely good health and being social and seeing people and all that. Don't isolate. Call your friends. Make new friends. Go to a church, a synagogue, wherever. Go to the local Y and work out. Do anything. Make new friends. Volunteer. Go become I can't think all the time. I have too many things on my mind. Go work at a museum. In the Coachella Valley, there's more museums than I ever thought. A docent. Become a docent. That's the people who walk around and tell you what's going on in the museum, okay? So do all that. I suggest you find some kind of being. I believe in God. I'm a Christian. I know a lot of people don't. Some believe in Buddha. Some believe in other things. Talk to them. I talk out loud all the time walking around my home. Sometimes I talk too much about my problems and I forget to be grateful. But I want to tell you something. I'm very grateful. I'm grateful for the owner of this radio station and television station. He is one of the best men I've ever met in my life. We share stories that are important to both of us when we're talking on the phone about shows coming up and things like that. He has helped me through this so much. I don't think I can ever thank him enough. And without Juan listening to me every time before the show going, oh, Juan, I have another problem with my laptop. He helps me all the time, but we have some things in common that we like to discuss too, like making asada. we talk about all sorts of things. We talk about beautiful places in Mexico and all of this. So we do have a good time, and I am blessed. And you're blessed. I bet you can think of many things to be blessed for, or however you want to make it, that you can be happy about. Fresh air is really important. You get up in the morning and you go out and you see the sun. You know, kind of pretend you're like a cast member of the old musical Hair. And they sing about the sun, Good Morning Sunshine. They talk about the night skies. Put it on, listen to it, dance around the house. Moving, walking is so important when we get to be this age. You have to be. It's important all your life. But when you're younger, for some reason, you feel more invigorated by saying, I want to walk and doing it than when you're older and you want to be invigorated, but you go, yeah, I want to walk, but maybe I should get new shoes or something. You know what? I don't even walk in walking shoes anymore. And I'll tell you why. They're like this. They should be like this, but they have the heel like this. I fell in the airport on one of those moving sidewalks 5 years ago when my daughter and son-in-law took us to Mexico. I've never fallen in my life, but the shoe stuck to it, and it was right at the end. I guess I got the toe down and the heel up, and I went down, and this poor flight attendant thought I'd really hurt myself. I didn't hurt myself at all. I skinned my knee. But I could have hurt myself. Don't wear those damn shoes. Get something that's totally flat. And if I were you, I wouldn't get the step-in kind of Skechers. They look nice. They feel good. But your heel can come out of them. Watch what you're doing, people. You know what? It's time to say goodbye. I want to tell you, I've been telling you I was going to reinvent Judith Mancini today and myself and all of that, just to make it a little spicier and what have you. And I'm going to put up a video on something if I can figure it out. I'm not techie at all. It's one where I was in my office, home office, always since I sold my publishing company. I started a business called Reinventing Life and Business, or something like that. Reinvigorating, I don't know, something like that. And I'm sitting in my office and somebody is with me and we're recording, we're testing it out, but it tells you what I want to tell you. And I can't find the final one. And so I'm going to post this one, and it's going to give you a little information and make you smile. And I think you'll like it. Least thing you could do is laugh at me as I put up my first video. So that will make you happy. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today. I truly appreciate you listening all the time. And you know what? I've been watching Meta every week. Somebody's calling me about my taxes. Look, probably spam. I want you to remember 3 things. Be grateful, try to be happy, and cherish yesterday, dream tomorrow, and live today. Thanks again for joining me. Bye.